Today I said I'm going to try something I haven't tried yet. A sloppy cho. It's like a sloppy joe, but they add kimchi. I love spicy foods.
I even bring my kids here too, and they love, love, love it.
Good sides, kind of healthy, so that's a benefit too.
A little bit of different types of vibes from all over the world, which I really enjoy quite a bit.
Food is a great way to connect across cultures, and food allows all of us, but certainly immigrants, to stay connected to our own unique cultures, traditions, and history. My name is Raghavan Iyer. I'm a James Beard Award-winning culinary educator, author, and consultant. Ever since arriving in rural Minnesota to attend college, I've looked to food as a way to recall and reconnect to my home in Mumbai, India, and to touch the lives of my fellow Minnesotans here in my new home. In recent years, the exciting array of Asian food in Minnesota features a fusion of ethnic flavors and styles seen in food professionals like Leeann Chin and her popular Pizzeria Lola in southwest Minneapolis. Tell us a little bit about the topping itself.
Really, the key to this pizza is the house-made kimchi. This is my mother's recipe. Actually, It's her mother's recipe. So this kimchi's probably been in the family for generations. This is the kimchi I've been raised on and grew up eating. So then we put it in a very hot wood-fired oven.
I would love for you to share with us a little bit about how food played such a big role in your upbringing and in your life. Korean food, was that something that you ate day in and day out?
Oh, it was huge. That's all I ate growing up. We immigrated to this country when I was about 4 years old.
Okay.
As an immigrant family, both parents were working. My grandmother came here and basically raised us. And every summer she had a garden. Everything was made from scratch, from the kimchi to the miso paste to the gochujang. Everything was made by hand. I can't imagine growing up any other way. The deep appreciation I have of the history of food and the connections that we have through food and our roots.
The popularity of ethnic food in Minnesota is symbolic of a state that has diversified its palate and its population, which includes well over 200,000 people of Asian descent from the Pacific to South Asia and beyond. But where did it all begin? In 1883, the year the Stone Arch Bridge was completed and the Mayo Clinic was founded, Chinese immigrants Wu Singh and Wu Singh, the Wu brothers, started the Canton Restaurant on Marquette Avenue in Minneapolis, the first Asian restaurant in Minnesota. While it served American fare, it also introduced meat and potatoes Minnesotans to what was then a very exotic dish, chow mein. In 1903, the restaurant moved to 6th Street, just off Hennepin Avenue near where the Plymouth Building would be erected. It was now called Exotic Fragrances from Afar, but would become known simply as John's Place. While his brother focused on the food, manager and host Wu Singh became highly regarded in civic and business circles in downtown Minneapolis. By the 1930s, both brothers had passed away, but the family continued to operate the restaurant for another generation. In 1967, John's Place finally closed. The entrepreneurial Wu brothers had changed Minnesota and established long-standing families in the metro area, with descendants like Leeann Chin and her cousin Michael Wong.
Oh my God.
Michael recently paid a visit to the Minnesota Historical Society to see some of the artifacts from his family's past.
This, of course, is one of the tables from the restaurant on 6th Street. This beautiful teakwood table with mother of pearl inlay.
And I haven't seen one of these since I was a little kid. I look at the menu and I keep thinking, can I cook that? Do I still have the recipe for that? You know?
The sign
Oh my.
was made in Canton, China, I think about 1914.
Wow. I know that the animals were characters of prosperity and symbols of elegance and beauty.
Now, the restaurant closed in 1967.
Correct. My grandfather gave my mom and my dad an opportunity to develop their own restaurant, John's #1 Son, which was down by Dunwoody there. When the freeway came through, my mom and dad moved the restaurant to Golden Valley. So I grew up in a restaurant like every kid of my generation. My dad wanted to retire, and so being the oldest and only boy in the family, I said to my dad, I said, hey, if you want me to take over the restaurant, I will do that. And my dad looked at me and he said that I had dreams and aspirations of my own, and this, having a restaurant was his, architecture was mine, architecture and design. He says, you need to pursue your own dreams. My dad is still around, he's 93 years old, and I love cooking with him.
The word Sawatdee means hello, and it also means goodbye, and this is the gesture when the Thai people see each other, then they bow and say Sawatdee. So
Minnesota said Sawatdee, or hello, to Thai food thanks to Sue Penn, a teacher from Thailand who came to Minnesota to study math in the early 70s.
So then I, am here study and met my husband, fall in love, start the family. I start making the egg roll, for the co-worker. They love my egg roll so much. That is how I start the egg roll stand at the fair. And then it start growing from there, just little stand at the fair.
This little stand got a big response at the fair, which led Sue Penn to take over the Gopher Cafe, where she continued the breakfast and lunch diner's American menu. Her husband and business partner encouraged her to expand and promote her Thai cuisine.
So finally, my husband said, just do the little Thai food. So I put the little sign in, Siam Cafe, and then that's it. And then I go start the Sawatdee in St. Paul.
Traditional Thai flavors include basil, lemongrass, fish sauce, and of course, curries. But while a fragrant curry dish is pretty familiar to Midwestern palates today, when, as an international student living with a host family, Sue Penn asked to cook some of her traditional food, the strange and strong fragrances weren't so well received.
When I first came, I lived with a host family, and they have steak every day, every other day, big piece of steak like this. And then one day I asked to cook my food, and the curry would smell all over the house, and they didn't enjoy that. They said it didn't smell that good. Sawatdee had set the standard of the Thai food in the Twin Cities. So, but people that know our food, they want it, they love it. Especially the fresh spring roll, that one sell like hotcake. It's very healthy, very good. But I live here 40 years, and I love American, people and culture and tradition and justice and equality, and I be proud. I never think in my life that I'm gonna come over here, start a little place, and it go growing and feed a lot of family and give them job. Thank you. Sawatdee ka. Sawatdee ka.
In Duluth, the Huie family established legendary restaurants that offered great food, fond memories, and friendly service based on the belief in the power of a good meal and values that a working-class town like Duluth can appreciate.
The Chinese lanterns give you so much satisfaction to satisfy the average people because they don't have that much opportunity like the rich people.
With his successful restaurant, the Chinese Lantern, Wing Ying Huie was following in the footsteps of his father, Joe Huie, who came to the port town as a teenager in 1909. After decades of hard work, he eventually opened Joe Huie's Cafe in Duluth.
And his concept was a very good concept. By open 24 hours, the first place ever opened in that area opened 24 hours. At nighttime especially, they hired the policemen to control the people from coming in, especially 20 below outside, and the people waiting to get in because the bar is closed, no place is open. There's the only place open is Joe Huie.
Wing would build on his father's idea of offering a great dining experience for the average person. But his business model included being the preferred dining spot for entertainers and celebrities performing in Duluth.
And I said, I would like to build a restaurant that able to draw every walk of life to come in. But the most important thing, you give them what they want. We're serving the best American food and the best Chinese food and best atmosphere, and treat every customer just like your fiancé, and to make sure that they're happy.
Signed photographs of famous and familiar faces lined the walls of the Chinese Lantern, but Wing offers hockey stories as the best examples of the restaurant meeting its mission and taking a place in Minnesota's dining history.
Every hockey team, when they come to play UMD, they always come to my place. And Minnesota hockey team, they always eat 5 times whenever they play against UMD. Doug Wu called me and said, Wing, I have a complaint with your food. I said, gee, what happened? He said, well, what problem is this? Because they ordered the prime rib and they ate so much they cannot ski.
A fire gutted the Chinese Lantern in 1994. While Minnesotans pleaded with the Huies to rebuild, they decided it was time to retire and they moved to the Twin Cities. Now, Wing enjoys being a grandfather and looking back on how the family's restaurants became treasures of the Northland.
That's what my dad believed. The most important thing is your health, and secondly, and you're able to help the other people, make the other people happy. Now, I'm not rich, but I'm still able to have a cup of bowl of rice and you're healthy. What more you want in life?
By the middle of the 20th century, Chinese restaurants were well established and popular. But just a decade out from World War II, there weren't any Japanese restaurants in Minnesota. This surprised Reiko Weston, a young woman from Tokyo who arrived in the Twin Cities with her husband.
She married an American GI, and came here to study mathematics and psychology at the University of Minnesota.
But Reiko Weston changed her life's path. Now joined in Minnesota by her parents, she decided to fill the void of Japanese dining in Minnesota. And in 1959, Fuji Ya, the state's first and foremost Japanese restaurant, was born. The first Fuji Ya was on LaSalle Avenue near Dayton's in downtown Minneapolis. But in 1961, Reiko turned an abandoned sawmill on the banks of the Mississippi into the venue for what would become a landmark Japanese restaurant, known for its food, but also its decor and traditional dining experience that would require Minnesotans to take off their shoes.
People thought that was just a great novelty. They were always very careful that they didn't have holes in their socks.
Weston opened a number of other restaurants, including Tiaga, a Chinese restaurant in St. Anthony, Maine, where she was the first to offer dim sum, a variety of dumplings, buns, and small snacks to eat while you sip tea. Today, you can find sushi everywhere. But again, it was Reiko Weston who introduced the popular Japanese food to Minnesota.
Well, the flavors of Japan are very old. I think that, at least for Fuji Ya, we want to stay as traditional as possible within the means of being in America.
In the 1970s, as the Vietnam War drew to a close, there was an exodus of Southeast Asians to Minnesota. Food offered comfort and a form of commerce for these new Americans, leading to highly regarded restaurants like Cheng Heng, a Cambodian restaurant, and numerous Vietnamese restaurants, including My Village, which features ornate decor imported from Vietnam. While you don't find a lot of Hmong restaurants, Hmong entrepreneurs operate successful food businesses and marketplaces. And with their agrarian roots, Hmong growers are very involved in area farmers markets.
My parents have so much knowledge and they're really good at what they do. So we transitioned from being like hobby farmers to organic farming.
Mhonpaj Lee, her mother Mai, and the Lee family operate Mhonpaj's garden in Oakdale. How did you get into into farming as a business?
When we were younger, it was a way of life. So like if we didn't farm, we wouldn't have enough for the family. I mean, there was 8 of us. Once I graduated from my college, and I would travel to El Salvador and Thailand and Honduras, and I've learned about food and how sustainable agriculture really like transform people's lives.
The family has built on the Hmong growing and farmers market tradition to launch the first Hmong community-supported agriculture, or CSA farm, in the area.
I mean, we appreciate our CSA members because they really appreciate what we have. To us, it's just like a whole way of life that we want to teach people and share with them, and it's through the CSA is really meaningful to us.
This one I still have see.
In addition to the CSA farm, the Lee family are also working to research, record, and preserve Hmong herbs and their traditional uses. Tell us a little bit about this beautiful food that you have on the table. That's just water. It's not stock or anything that you've used. Okay.
We never use any stock with our cooking. We don't use any like cream or any soy sauce or anything in our cooking. It's just all seasoned with like herbs and stuff.
And I think you're doing such a wonderful service because you're educating people in something that Minnesotans are not aware of.
Right.
It's an important cuisine that, that you don't see very much written about. Beautiful. Everything is just delicious.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Another mother turned her culture's cuisine into a successful commercial venture.
For the most part, she was cooking traditional Chinese food. My father was very traditional if he happened not to be home for dinner. She made hamburgers in the wok, and she also made popcorn in the wok.
Making popcorn in the wok for her children. An example of the innovation Leeann Chin would draw from to create the most recognized Asian food brand in the region.
When she came to the United States in 1957, she didn't speak a word of English. Luckily, we had great neighbors who taught her English and kind of taught her the ways of how Minnesotans did things. Introduced us to things like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. She went to the Votech school to learn sewing.
That time I was still sewing. I have just making at home, and lots of my clients, and I entertain a lot.
And she worked out of our home. That way she could keep an eye on all of us children. Her real passion was cooking and teaching.
The seamstress entertained her clients where they discovered her talents with Chinese cuisine.
And people enjoyed it so much they wanted her to cater. They wanted her to teach cooking classes in their homes. And eventually one thing led to another, where one of her clients encouraged her to open a restaurant. In 1980, we opened our first restaurant in Bonaventure Shopping Center. And we had some beautiful fabric, ultra suede menu covers, and we hired a calligrapher to do all of the writing of the menu items. We had a very extensive menu that we prepared. The first night was very busy, so we ran out of food after the first hour, and one of the options was a buffet. Leeann was very quick on her feet. She didn't stop to think about it. She said, let's just do this. So we set up the buffet, and actually it ended up being a great concept. The benefit of having a buffet is people are allowed to try things that they may not otherwise order. General Mills was looking for a Chinese fast food concept, and they had their eye on our restaurant, so they ended up acquiring a company and expanding that concept into several locations. And then in 1988, Leeann purchased the company back from General Mills.
In this country, if you want to work hard, you can do almost anything. If you have a desire to do something. It took a long time though, but I have trusted if I work hard, it will get there.
We were always trying to help the community. So she donated a lot of food to different organizations for fundraisers. We used to send all of our leftover food to the food bank so they could feed people in need.
Leeann Chin went on to open 52 Leeann Chin locations in 4 states. She passed away in 2010, but her name and legacy live on as the innovator of accessible, quality, buffet-style Chinese dining.
You know, I was very proud of her. It sort of changed the way that people looked at Chinese food, and just exposing people to different foods is just like exposing them to new languages is always sort of eye-opening for people, expands their horizons.
Fusing foods into something new has become a common concept for restaurants.
I took influences not only from my culture, but also from going to college in New York and doing some traveling. And so I've got a few pizzas that are very traditional, sort of classic Italian wood-fired pizzas like the margherita and marinara. And then the area where I have a lot of fun and I feel most connected to, and I think that the people in this community have really embraced, are the Korean influences. Things like kimchi. I was eating kimchi with hot dogs when I was a little kid, you know, getting a bucket of fried chicken and having kimchi as if it were coleslaw. We have so many different cultures and so many different people coming to this country and bringing different influences, but also being true to America.
We live in the fusion generation. You know, a lot of our dishes that you see, you know, we take the we call it Minnesota-nized Mid-Asian spice.
Thom Pham's idea of Minnesota nice meets Asian spice is a great example of how fusion has been and continues to be the way cuisine and culture adapt and change in new settings.
It's fun to find local ingredients, you know, cranberry for a good example. I didn't even know what cranberry was, you know. At first, I did not like it at all. You know, I think it's probably one of the worst ingredients out there. But it got to be the way that you make this likable. And so, as you see, you know, there's a lot of cranberry dishes in our menu here. This is what become the cranberry curry. So you got chicken there, mushroom, cranberry, onions, scallions, curry paste there, and then of course coconut milk.
Tell us a little bit about this dish.
The sweetness of the cranberry and the spicy of the you know, from the curry. Mm-hmm. It's just a perfect balance, and of course, you know, it's not something that just came to my mind right away, but I have to play with it and different ingredient, flavor, and put them together. And it's been 15 years now. Yeah. Everyone talk about it, everyone loves it, and I personally love it.
While he represents New Asian fare and fusion, Thom has a direct link to the early history of Asian flavors in Minnesota. His downtown restaurant was just down the block from the site of the state's first Asian restaurant, John's Place, and across the street from the site of the legendary Nankin. And he bought his first restaurant in St. Louis Park from a couple who had worked at the Nankin.
Jack and Marian Durr. Jack was a chef for the Nankins. Mm-hmm. When they're ready to retire, I bought the restaurant from them, and Jack taught me some of the original Nankins dishes. And it's still here on this menu today. So crazy, you think that the world is so big, but actually it is very small.
In some ways, you're the thread that connected the past and the present and the future. Thom's original Asia was located on Eat Street, the popular section of Nicollet Avenue South in Minneapolis. Nothing says multicultural like the cuisine found at Harry Singh's, a long-standing Eat Street destination. Harry, from the East Indian community of the surprisingly diverse Caribbean country of Trinidad and Tobago, offers a wonderful melange of flavors that typify fusion. Your background is so intriguing, and tell us a little bit about growing up in your childhood and how food was a big part of it.
I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, which is like Minneapolis, St. Paul. Mm-hmm. Of East Indian heritage. You know, my great-grandparents were from India. Mm-hmm. I came here in July of 1970 to attend University of St. Thomas. I graduated from there. Then I told my wife, I said, it's time for a restaurant. From 1983 until today, here I am. But I tried to maintain that from day one, how I was taught to cook by my mother, you know.
So it was your mother that taught you everything about cooking when you were
everything.
Back home. It's fascinating for me, you know, also of Indian background, to see the influence of Indian food.
Trinidad is a diverse culture. Trinidad is the only island that produces the doubles, the rotis, and the various curries. Then in Trinidad and the Caribbean, you have the French Creole cooking. The Chinese is dominantly the ones who left the fusion here with the chow mein. Yeah. Chinese influence along with the West Indian sort became a fusion, and it left it with one thing, it's spicy. That is what Trinidad is known for, the spiciness.
Harry, it's such a pleasure to sit down and chat with you over a plate of what else but chow mein.
Chow mein.
From Harry Singh's Indian, Chinese, Caribbean chow mein of today, to the first plate of chow mein served to Minnesotans in the 1800s, Asian flavors have changed Minnesota's tastes, just as the many Asian cultural groups have reshaped the state's history, culture, and communities.
There was no chopstick sheath, so we had to make them ourselves. We actually learned how to make cheater chopsticks. Take a regular pair of chopsticks, put rubber bands on it, and they become like tweezers. And of course, we always had a fork in back, even though we said we didn't.
Well, when did it change inside you that you were able to say to yourself, I am good enough?
As soon as I know how to make money.
My wife taking care of all those 3 kids. She worked twice harder at home than I was in the restaurant. But at that time, when you were young, you were naive, you don't know really. She's done a beautiful job.
Now it's this really innovative chef thing to have kimchi on hamburgers. And it's like, well, my grandma was doing that when I was young. So the beauty of being able to live in this country, it truly is, I guess, a melting pot.
Asian Flavors was a Minnesota Partnership co-production of Minnesota Historical Society Press, publisher of books, journals, and digital media content on the history and culture of Minnesota and the Upper Midwest, and Twin Cities Public Television. Funding has been provided by the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, administered by the Minnesota Historical Society.